Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the lighter side of things. I'm Serena.
And I'm Galaxy.
And we're here to help. We're here to make life a little better for everybody, because not everybody has someone in their corner. Not everybody has someone to talk to, so let that be us. Let us be the ones to be able to help you, because Lord knows we've been through some shit. So let us help. And today, on our Tumblr, I did post something about being angry and being annoyed, because it happens every day to everyone, and how to try and get over that. And we actually received an email, which is really cool, and I thank you for sending that in. So we're gonna try and help Siri out. She did email us. So she says, "Hi, my name is Siri. Last year my mom committed suicide, and it has been really hard to live day to day without her. We always went shopping on the weekends, and she always found the best deals. She was my best friend. I feel like she was trying to make up for what she was planning to do, but I don't know if that is just me being angry at what she did or just missing the time we spent together. I came across your Tumblr and wanted to see what you guys had to say on this. Please help me clear up my head. I just miss my mom so much, and I don't know how to feel anymore. Siri."
First thing I can say, Siri, is, thank you for reaching out, because that's exactly the community that we are trying to build here at To Whom It May Concern.
And we are very sorry for your loss, and our condolences to you, because that's not anything to just try and get over. That is, I completely understand why you are angry.
I can tell you from being on both sides of the suicide track, on being on the side of having a loved one attempt, and from being on the dark side of attempting myself, is very, very two different avenues of thought. The first I'll touch on is being in your shoes. When I was younger, and before I was really even at the age where I could actually comprehend what was going on, unfortunately, I had walked in and found my dad, and he had tried to overdose, if I remember correctly. But just knowing that someone you care about that much can either feel that they're not doing enough, feel like they're not good enough, whatever it may be. I never think that a parent, a friend, a relative is ever looking at us, their loved ones, as the cause or the reason behind what they're doing. It's more so the lack of what they feel they're doing is why they feel that they're not good enough to be there for you anymore. And I don't know how you feel about that.
I have never been in this situation. I've not had a loved one do that. I myself have tried. I tried in high school. I tried a lot in high school, and I wish that I could just sit and talk with the people who do either attempt or who have, and just sit and as I say in our tagline, as I've been saying, it does get better. And I don't know what dark storm your mother was in. I don't know the thoughts in her head. We actually have been going through this ourselves. My 4-year-old stepson, his biological mother actually just attempted not too long ago, and now we are ensnared in quite the legal battle because of it. But all I can say is from my point of view, when I was going through that in high school, I felt like there was no other way. I felt like people they were better off without me. It wasn't like they cared anyway. And I'm not saying that, that's how your mom felt. I'm going off my own personal experience, and I know a lot of people sit there and they will tell you harshly that it's a selfish decision to do, and it is a very selfish thing where the person is only thinking about themselves, that they are not thinking about their family, they're not thinking about their loved ones, they're lost and they're drowning, and they don't know how to save themselves, they don't know how to reach out and get help, and say they did, and it didn't help. I know a lot of people are put on, depression medication, and it changes who you are, and then they go the holistic route with essential oils, and then that doesn't work, and again, you're drowning in a sea of just black, and you don't know what to do. As for your anger, have you tried just even write your mom a letter and just put all your fear and your frustration and your anger and your sorrow and everything into this letter? You could be emotionally drained afterwards, but that's okay. Put everything you can into this letter. And I learned when I was younger, off topic, my grandfather, he died of a heart attack, but he was my best friend, and I think my uncle, who was either a pastor or a priest or something to do along the lines of that, told me to write my papa a letter. And when I'm done writing that letter, and I'm done getting my anger out, and I'm done getting the whys, and why was I not good enough? Why could you not stay here? What was wrong with me? Why could I not help you? Why did you not come to me? When you get all that out on that piece of paper, you burn it. And when you burn it, the ashes will go to your loved one, and they'll be able to understand, and maybe that's just,
I think it's
a
more
kid's
so,
point of view.
yeah, I think it's for a kid's, I think it's definitely to let,
but it definitely helps to write it down and get those feelings out.
And I think that's exactly why Serena and I are here for you guys, and that is the kind of community that we want to build. Is just like we say on the Tumblr page, one of the healthiest ways to deal with almost any situation, especially when you feel that you have no one to turn to, is to just turn to pen and paper or your laptop or anything and write it out. And that's why, Siri, we're not ecstatic for the situation, but we're ecstatic that you're doing this, because this is the first step to recovery in any of that. No matter whether you're angry, whether you're sad, whether you're depressed, whether you're fighting personal demons or the literal demons of your life, it's the first step to getting better. And to just add on to what Serena was saying is, none of us know what the person who we lost was going through right then and there, because none of us are that person. And the only thing that I can hope for is that those of you who are helping to build this community, if you have struggled with being in these dark places and struggling with suicide, that you guys can come together and help Siri to be able to see that, no, this was not a healthy place to be, and there are those who can win this battle, but there are those, and this may be almost like a harsh thing to say, but there are those that just will not win this battle. No matter how much you show you're there for them, no matter how much you hold them, no matter how much you encourage them, they themselves have just made the choice that this is how they're going to do it.
They've made up their mind.
And realistically, that's one thing that humanity has as a strength and as a weakness, is that once we have fully made up our mind, it's almost impossible to have that be changed. And that goes for, like I said, both as a blessing and as a curse. You can have a mother who is struggling every single day to feed her 3 kids, who's trying to get a deadbeat dad to pay child support and trying to get DCF in the court to be able to have this man take care of his children. And she just makes a decision that, you know what? Screw everyone else. Screw this man. Screw the courts. I'm going to do this. I am going to take care of these babies. And this is the mom that you see her working 6 jobs, going to school, put the kids through football practice and ballet practice and everything, and everyone looks at her like, how do you find the time and the energy to do this? And it's literally because she chose to. And then you have the people who struggle with whether it's weight or depression or anything, or realistically just any struggle, and you at some point make the choice to give up. And I know some people may flare up in the comments saying, well, it's not a choice, it's a disease and stuff, but
no, it's a choice.
In my belief, there are still choices that you can make. There are choices that you have the absolute ability to do. And one of the biggest points I definitely want to have in this channel is that for the people who have made the decision to surrender or give up, those of you who do know someone who needs help, sometimes you have to bring the help to them. There are those who just will not seek help. And I think that's...
They don't know how.
Right, and I think that's
they
one of
don't know where to go.
The worst things about being locked in that depressive bubble and that dark, just deep down, it holds you. It will cling to you, it will chain you up, tie you down, and you feel so heavy that to try to just turn to someone and just go, I need you,
it's a lot harder than
you think, and you would think,
because again, everybody, every human, everything, you have that strong will. No, I can do this myself. I got this myself. I can do this. And sometimes you just gotta. I need help, and that's okay. It's okay to need help. I'm going to school for psychology, and that's what the one thing you learn. One, you learn not to misdiagnose yourself, and then everybody needs help.
But I think even for a well person, it's hard to ask for help because we all have pride. But the thing is that
the word I was looking for
is that once you enter the darker realms of thought, especially when you are struggling with suicide and depression, it just becomes 10 times harder. Because it's like as soon as you want to go to lift up that hand to ask for help, it's another chain that just pulls it back down.
And I'm not gonna lie, Siri, you have every right to be angry.
Absolutely.
Every right. But the thing is, you can choose to sit here and be angry for the rest of your life. It's not going to accomplish anything.
And I would say make sure your anger is pointed in the right direction. Because, and this is one thing I will say to anybody who is struggling with this. You can be angry at the situation. Don't be angry at the person.
Right.
The thing is don't ever let this become how you remember your mom.
Right. Because like you said, you always went shopping on the weekends and she found the best deals. Hold on to that.
You know, and
let that take over. Don't
pass it on to your own kids, your grandkids once you get to that point, you know.
Don't go, well, she committed suicide. Don't go, well, the fuck. It's okay. This is what my mother did. Okay? I've done my grieving. I've done my mourning. I'm now angry because now I'm missing out on having a mom because of the selfish choice she made. She decided that was that, and she was done. And that's not fair. Okay? But, we used to go shopping on the weekends, and and the deals my mom could find. Did she pass that off to you? Because now you can teach, hey, honey, no, wait. This is a better deal. You can pass that knowledge off. And I don't know how old you are, but whether you are 15, whether you are 25, whether you are 55, you still have memories of your mom. Don't let this be
the all-consuming memory.
Because I could tell you the one and only memory I have of my grandmother is her sitting in a hospital bed on morphine because of lung cancer. Granted, my grandmother and I did not have a very good relationship at all, but that's what I remember. I don't remember, well, I do remember, but mostly it's her in the hospital bed. And that's not how I should remember her. Don't remember your mom as this weak individual. Remember her in the light of, we went shopping and she was my best friend. Keep her in that light. You, like I said, you have every reason to be angry. And this is what I tell my 4-year-old. He has every reason to be mad at his mommy. No, does he necessarily understand what mommy did? No. But he knows she did something bad enough that he's not allowed to go see her. The state won't allow it because of what she did. And that's why he's angry. But I showed him, color it out. Talk it out. I've spent plenty of nights now where he's sat, he's cried to me, he's yelled, he's screamed into his pillow, he scribbled on a piece of paper because he's angry, but he feels better afterward. And that's why I said, write her a letter. Write her a letter and say, I miss you. And I don't know how I should feel anymore, Mom, because you're not here to help me. So how do I do this? What do I do?
And for those of you who are listening to this and you are on the outside of this situation, again, like expanding on the point I made before, is that a lot of people who are dealing with feeling the sting of losing a loved one in this way, one of the biggest questions again they're asking is, why didn't they ask for help? Why didn't they talk to me? Why didn't to further my point from before is, you do have to become the person that brings the aid to that person.
And don't blame yourself.
Never blame yourself. But the thing is that it's so much easier to deal with someone thinking you're annoying and being able to be annoyed with you than you missing that person. There is no reason why you can't sit there, and I do it to Serena. I'll be like, babe, what's wrong? Honey, what's wrong? Honey, what's wrong? And somewhere between the 9 millionth and the 100 millionth time, she will eventually answer me, but she does answer me. And it drives her up a wall. It absolutely does. But the thing is the reason I do that is because, not that I would ever think that Serena is about to go jump off our roof or plunge a knife into her heart. It's just the fact of, because of how I have lost people, and because I've been that, well, no, maybe I should leave them alone, I am now living with my own form of regret of just going, well, what would have happened had I just asked him one more time, if I had just called one more time? It's so much easier to be a reminder than to try to remember someone. It's so much easier to be the person that's going to sit there and be like, hey, Max, listen, I know you're not doing so well. Let's talk. Let's go to the library. Let's just go shoot the shit and have coffee. Or, whatever the person that is going through this.
Even if it's someone you don't know, even if it's someone you're going to school, you work with them and you just see them, and even mostly at school, and you see them getting picked on, or at work, you see them sitting by themselves, what have you. Go be that person. Go be the one that says, hey, how are you? What's going on? Because you might save a life.
Because it's going to be easier for them to remember you than it is for you to try to remember them.
Because how often is it you hear of someone who's committed suicide, and people who never in a million years spoke to them were like, oh, wow, I can't believe that. I wish I had said something. I wish I talked to him. Don't wish it. Just do it. And I can tell you from my experience in high school, my parents to this day will not tell me who, but somebody I knew went to them and said that I was hurting myself and they were afraid for me.
And that's the biggest thing. Don't ever... Anger will pass.
It will.
And the one of the biggest things is whether or not you are the whistleblower or not, whether you're the person that calls them,
they will thank you later. They
later.
might be angry now, and they might tell you to never speak to them again.
Yep.
But further down the road, they're gonna come back and they're gonna go, thank you.
You're gonna be the person that they're gonna be like, wow, you know what?
You
so
cared.
and so cared enough to ask me how I was doing today, and really ask me how I was doing today.
Or
Not
even if it's the whole, well, hey, Mr. and Mrs. whatever, this, I know this is going on with Johnny. Hey, I'm worried. Can you just check on him?
You would be amazed.
I would love to thank the person, whoever told my parents.
But one of the biggest, scariest things is you'd be amazed at how many families are blown away by the suicide than friends. Because friends will be like, I felt like something was off, and why didn't I say this? And families will sit there and be like, I never knew.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, is that like we get so accustomed to our day to day that it would take someone who's on the outside of the regular routine to notice that there's a difference. You know, and sometimes you were that individual. So to kind of bring this all wrapped up, to talk to everyone as a whole, Siri, to really help you guide, like you said, you said you're really trying to clear up your head, you're trying to clear up your heart, and you're right now, I can't even say that you're on the road to healing. You're on the very
Don't
beginning.
let anyone tell you that you need to, all right, well, that was last year, all done. No, you take the time you need to heal.
But don't let this become what the world is going to tell you is going to be a crutch for the rest of your life. Well, she's angry because she doesn't have a mom. Like, don't let this become something that consumes you. Because any emotion, whether it's love, whether it's hate, whether it's joy, whether it's sadness, all of them have the potential to be too much. And too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Too much of a bad thing is a bad thing. But the biggest piece of advice that I can give you is, whether it's waking up a little bit earlier or turning off all the electronics a little bit earlier before you go to bed, give yourself a half hour in the morning or a half hour before you go to bed and just look at where you are. And I mean, not your house, not your apartment, not your college dorm room, wherever you are. Look at you. Where is Siri in your life? Try to see where you are mentally, where you are emotionally, where you are spiritually, physically, and find out who you really are right now. Because to find out where you are and who you are is going to let you know where you need to go and allow you to see who you want to be. And when you can pinpoint those things, then you're going to know what you need to work on. So if you see that you're not as happy as you would like to be, you're going to be able to admit that to yourself. And the better you get at that, the better you're actually going to get seeing where your mom may have actually been in that point. Because the more you can identify your own emotions, the easier it is to pick up on where others are at. It's a natural way of almost just training your sympathetic side. And the biggest thing you have to remember is that your mom never did this to hurt you. Her last thoughts were not, well, you know what? Siri pissed me off today, so I'm just going to go and do this. Like, never let...
There was never a moment where your mom did not love you.
Absolutely not. No. And that's the thing about moms. No matter how bad life gets, no matter how bad they may seem, you cannot change a mother's love for their child. No matter how bad of a person they are, no matter how bad they may have screwed up, the thing is if they carried you full term, gave birth to you, held you, fed you, nursed you, kissed you goodnight, tucked you into bed, read you bedtime stories, at no point in time did this woman think, I don't love my daughter. And anybody out there, You could have the crappiest relationship with your mom, but the thing is, before she goes to bed at night, there is no reason why that woman is not thinking of you, and she may have regret in her heart for things that she's done to you, but it does not mean that she does not love you. Moms are incapable of not loving their children. So Siri, remember that your mom loves you, has loved you, will always love you. And to anybody out there who is struggling with dark thoughts, with
whether you think nobody loves you, nobody cares, we do. And we may be strangers, but we do. Got no other technology. And that's why we're doing this. We want to help people. And Siri, I just want to leave it off of, I understand being angry. I am a little ball of hate, as I say. I cannot go throughout a day without getting angry. But just like my Tumblr post said, take a deep breath. Think about why you're angry. Really think about it. Because in your email, it's, you don't know if it's what you're angry at what she did or just missing the time spent together. Really sit and think, why am I so angry? Why am I mad that this happened? Why am I mad that she did this? Why am I mad that I'm missing out on time? Why? That is the biggest thing you need to do, is just think of why. And once you get your why, talk it out. Okay, she was in a bad place, but it wasn't anything I did. It wasn't anything, if you have siblings, that they did, you know, your dad. It was just, she was lost and she was drowning. And that's just something that people don't understand. And once you've got that, take another deep breath.
Now, the last thing I want to include, guys, and I'm going to put in a link in the video down below.
The description.
In the description down below. I'm not used to this anymore. But whether it's for yourself, whether it's for someone else, I'm always going to include the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. And the number is 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255.
We will also post like the international ones for everybody that could be like in Europe or something like that. We will also make sure those are in there because, again, everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a meaning.
You're not a mistake. You're here for a reason.
Don't cut your light short. Don't throw in the towel just yet. Because believe it or not, it does get better. It really, really does. And you just need to just get through this hard time. And whether it's high school, whether it's, college,
whether
it's a divorce, it's life, something better is in store. And it's not death. Not yet.
So to end on this, guys, we love you.
We do.
And sometimes that's just what somebody needs to hear.
We're here for you. We love you. Please, if you need somebody, reach out to the suicide hotline. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to your parents. Reach out to us.
Send us an email. Send
Tumblr.
us a Tumblr. If we need to set up a Twitter, let us know.
I would prefer not to set up the Twitter, but
alright,
you do Twitter. Because I don't do the Twitter. As you can tell, I hate Twitter. I hate Twitter so much.
But remember, guys, it does get better. There is more in store. And realistically, it's about weathering this storm this year.